My name is Melki Garay. I'm from Sweden. I was born in South America, in Chile. I came to Sweden when I was 4 years old. I'm today 51 years old, and I'm a painter. First, I'm a writer, actually, but 4 years ago, like that, I started to paint. And, for me, it was to come beyond the word, because I'm a writer, it's an intellectual process, and I want to be free from that. I just want to work with my feelings. That's why I start to paint. But sometimes my thoughts coming up, etc., and then I want to write something about the paintings I do. That's why we have here some text to the paintings. But basically it was to come away from the word. It was more a thing to grasp, to embrace something that was beyond the word, something inside me. I don't think we can use words to express everything. That's why we have paintings. I like freedom. I like freedom to express myself. It's about to create a meaning in life for me. That's why I paint also. I am like a half human being only if I only have to use my mind. That's why I use my feelings also. So maybe somebody asks here, how come there's so many different colors on my paintings? So one of the reasons is that I'm a very curious guy, maybe too curious, somebody say. So I have been traveling a lot in this world. I have meeting a lot of people. I have nice conversations. I have read a lot. I have seen a lot of films. I have seen a lot, and that is my baggage. This is what I have. So that's why also I feel very limited when I only write.
Вот здесь создание такого цвета, который создает свет, который у него вибрирует, как ни странно, если вглядываться. Например, желтый на черном, если присмотреться, понимаете, изнутри идет такая своеобразная вибрация. Это тоже не каждый художник может сделать. И это очень интересно. Вот еще в этих работах какая-то есть знаковость, которая ведет к символам, к символике и заставляет думать вообще о жизни. Это на мой взгляд. И я рада, что он у нас здесь выставляется, и наши зрители хотя бы чуть-чуть соприкоснутся со Швецией. Большое вам спасибо.
This painting, we see a bird here, and the reason why it's black around here is a symbol for darkness. And this bird want to say something. He's not afraid about darkness. He wants to stand up. And that was one political, you can say this is very political, in the sense that this bird is a symbol for us maybe, that we have to stand up against that it is dark. So I work with this maybe, 1 week with this painting. I need a lot of colors because we human beings, we are full of colors. We have to use that because that is power. We have to use this power we have inside of us. So this bird is protest against the darkness. The painting, what's behind them is, you can say, I have something in myself that I want to create meaning for my life. That's the most important reason why I paint, why people paint. I think it's the most important. Then there can be other reasons also. But, we woke up in the morning and we go to work and then we come home. Why do we do all these things? Why? We must have a meaning, something like a motor inside of us that make us to fight, go further. So the painting is something for me that creates meaning, a reason to live. And as you see, it's a different kind of expression, different colors, different motive.
And that is because I'm a curious guy, you know. I like to try new ways to express myself. So each painting has its own story, of course. This painting has a history. I wrote a short story about a parrot, and then I was thinking about this story, and then I paint this. But somehow, you know, when I have one idea, I can make different things. I can make a painting, I can make a story, write a story, I can make maybe some film. We can do different things. But in this case, I had one idea about the parrot who is thinking and have thoughts about life. And this in the story of my short story, then you can read about that. But I make something to accomplish this story, you can say. So this bird asked, he said that, you think I'm in a cage, but I think you are in a mental cage. Because we are repeating everything that we are reading in the newspaper, in the film, on the radio, on the internet. We are the guys who are sitting in the cage. Not me, this bird said, because I can think new thoughts. So thank you for listening and view this video, and I come back, you can be sure about that, and I will give you new paintings later. I'm a curious guy, I want to explore a lot of things here in life. Painting is a way to explore life and your minds. Thank you. До свидания.